Hello friends, so today we're going to discuss the first three problems from the latest LeetCode weekly contest 201. So let's start. The first problem is make the string great, in which you are given a string S of lower and upper English alphabets. Now what you can do, a good string is a string which doesn't consist of two adjacent characters SI and SJ, SI plus 1, such that the SI is a lowercase alphabet and SI plus is an uppercase alphabet and both are same. Okay, then what does this mean? That if there are two adjacent characters in which, as you can see, one is small and the other is capital and both are same, both are E, then this is not acceptable. So what you can do to make this string good, you can choose two adjacent characters that make the string bad and remove them. So what does this mean? Because as you can see, these two characters are making the string bad because they are adjacent and they are same. So you can remove both of these characters from the string, and then the output is the rest of the string. So you have to keep on removing such characters and print the string which is the final string after removing such double characters. Okay, so you can observe more with this example. In this, if you remove BB first, then it will become like A, small a, capital A, C. Then you can remove this, so it will actually shift down if you remove this, and this property can be seen or can be implemented using stacks. So that's the first thing you can observe, that if you remove two characters and then the rest of the characters fall on this character, then you can do it with a stack. So then it will become like small a, capital A, then you can remove this and then it will become like this, so you can remove this and then the empty string is removed. So what you can do, I have written down here. Let's move down to the code first. This is a stack, you can make a stack. So what you can do, so let's assume that you have E, capital E, then you have a B, capital B, and then like you have capital C and small c. So you can see that these are consecutive, so you can make a stack, push capital C, then push B, push E. Whenever you are pushing a character, see that if there are some characters in the stack, then pop out the first element and see that if this is small letter, this is capital and both are same, or this is capital, this is small, both are same, then you will pop out this element as well and you will not also insert this element in the stack. Else, if they are different, what you can do, so let's assume that this is actually E and this is S, then you will push this S inside and then it will be B, because this is not removed, so it will go above and this will be C. So that's the whole logic. Let's move on to the code implementation. So make a stack and then you will iterate from the first element to the last. If the stack is empty, you will only push the first character. Else what you will do, you will take out the first character, the top element, and you will check that if the the SIH character is capital and the top character is small and both of the characters are same, or the IH character is small and the top character is capital and both are same, then you will pop out the top character from the stack. Else you will push down this character. After this you will print out the string. So that's the first question, which is pretty simple if you just implement the correct trick. The second question is find the kth bit in the nth binary string. So what does this states, that you are given n and k and then a binary string Sn is in this form, in which S1 is just 0, but the Si, any ith string, is in the form of that you will take the S minus I minus 1th string. So for like 2, you will take the first string, then add 1 to it and then reverse this Si minus 1 string and invert it. So first invert it and then reverse it, and then this combined is a new string, and then you will keep on doing this until you do it for n times, and then in the new string find the kth bit. So that's the whole question. Let's see this example. So S of 1 is always 0, then S of 2 is, what you can see that you have to take this S of I, the previous string, first take the previous string, then insert 1, then what you can do, you will invert this string and then reverse it. So if you invert this, it will become 1, then reverse it is just also 1, so you will put 1. Now For S of 3, what you will do, you will first put down this whole string which is 0 1 1, then put 1, and then what you will do, you will invert it, so it will become like 1 0 0, and then reverse it, so it will be 0 0 1, and so on. So because n is very small, it's up to 20, you can just brute force those whole strings. You can just brute force this method to make all the n strings, and when you will reach the nth string, you will print out the kth character. So that's the whole simple brute force way. Let's move down to the code. You will initialize our starting string with 0, then you will do it for n times. You will make a new string t, in which the first half of this new string is the s itself, then you will add 1, then you will iterate from, because you have to reverse it, you will iterate from s, which will store the previous iteration of the string, start from back to front, and if you encountered, because you have to reverse it and also invert it, so reversing it, we start from back to front, and invert it, so whenever you find a character which is 0, convert it to 1, else convert it to 0, and then after this string, the t string will store the new string. So what you will do, you will make s point to the new t string, convert it to the new t string, and this conversion and this repetition will go on till n times, and because k is numbered from 1, this is not 0th, so you will do k minus 1, so you find out the kth minus 1 bit. So that's the whole second question. Let's move on to the third question. The third question is also a very basic implementation if you know this code. So the question states that you have to find out maximum number of non-overlapping subarrays with some equal target. So what does this mean is, you are given an array of nums and a target array, target value. You have to return the maximum number of non-empty, non-overlapping subarrays in this nums such that the subarray sum equals to target. As you can see in this subarray equals to 2, then this subarray is also equal to 2, and then the answer is just 2 subarrays which has a target value of 2. Same as you can do in this, but you can do that if you know, or you can go out and check out a Geeks for Geeks page, or like any question how to find out the any subarray. Can you find out any subarray which is present in this whole nums which has a target value equal to, or like which has a total sum, or a subarray which has a total sum equal to target? If you can find out that article, read that article, then it will become, this question will become very simple. So I'll take it on to the drawing board. So let's assume that you have this array which is like 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. So you have to find out number of subarrays which has 2, target value of 2. So what you do, you will iterate from left to right, and let's assume that you find out this is a subarray which has a target value of 2. Then because this subarray from the target value of 2, you can erase everything out. You can take this as this part as separately, and then take this only array, and because you don't want to be overlapping, okay, then just find out the total number of subarrays, or if like what is the subarray which is present which has a total sum equal to target in this array. So let's assume that you find out this. So now your new target value or new array is this. You find out this, new array is this, target this, total is 4. Why this is happening? Because let's assume that you have 5 minus 2 and 2 as a subarray, and you want to find out 5 to target value 5. Now target value of 5 can be this and this as well, because this turns out to be 0. Okay, so like you can take this also which has a target value of 5, and this also. But let's assume that you move from left to right, you find out that this is a target sum, you will take it. So now you exclude it from the whole array. Now you want to find out whether this subarray only consists of a target value of 5. No, so the answer is just 5, because you don't want to overlap. If you overlap, then the answer is like 2, but it is not overlapping, so answer is just 1. Okay, so you can go out and read the question, how to find out the total subarrays, like how to find out whether subarray exists which has a total sum equal to the target value. So I just moved on to the code implementation. So the code is also very simple. You can make a map, okay, and what you will do, you will iterate from left to right, add every value, the ith value in the total variable, Okay, if total equals to target, what means that, so let's assume you have a value of 1 1 1. You keep on adding every number which is 1 1. So you first has 0, like it will become 1, then the total sum will become 2 because you have added this. Whenever total target sum equal to 2, which is equal to the given target value, which means that this subarray has a total sum equal to our target value. So you can take this as a whole subarray. Okay, so if you take this as a subarray, then OK, which stores a total number of subarrays, increment by 1, and because you have taken this whole backward subarray as 1, you will clear out everything. Clearing out everything means that the rest of the subarray, like the rest of the nums, will be a new part. So how you can do that? You can clear everything which you have pre-computed backwards and start afresh from this ith point. So you can delete everything, total will become 0, and erase the map value also. Also you can check that if the map count of total minus target, you have seen this. If you have seen this, then also the subarray has existed which has a total sum equal to target. You can understand this logic using Geeks for Geeks article. This is also very simple because whenever a total sum occurred, and if you subtract total minus target value, if you have seen this value earlier, then this means that there must be existing some subarray which has a total sum equal to target, and then you can again afresh it this whole like iteration. Else, if both of these conditions are not met, you will increment this total value in the map. You can also do this with a set also, and then after finally doing all this iteration, the answer is just OK. I hope you understand both the three questions. The last question is on DP, so I'll make a separate video on it. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Keep coding. Bye.